and Big Data, IBIG. Yang lebih kita kenali dengan IBIG lah, IBIG UMK, dan Fakulti Data Science and Computer ataupun Fakulti Sains Data dan Komputer lah, FSDK. Kami mengambil inisiatif untuk mengupas topik yang tengah hangat diperkatakan sama ada di media masa berkaitan dengan ChatGPT dalam pembelajaran lah. Okey, sebelum kita pergi jauh, apa kata kita memperkenalkan dua panel kita yang sudi untuk bersama-sama pada hari ini berkongsi. Beliau yang saya maksudkan adalah panel yang pertama, mungkin yang boleh saya kirakan sebagai mentor jugalah, Profesor Madya Dr. Noraini Yusof. Profesor Madya Dr. Yusof. Apa khabar, Prof?
Assalamualaikum, good morning. Alhamdulillah, good.
Alright. Dan panelis yang kita yang kedua, yang masih lagi cukup genetik, mempunyai kekuatan mental dan fizikal yang masih belum teruji, iaitu Dr. Fakitah binti Ridwan daripada Fakulti Sains Data dan Komputeran. Apa khabar?
Alhamdulillah, sihat. Doktor, saya tak nampak muka doktor ni, doktor. Gelap je.
Nampak?
Saya nampak hitam je.
Misteri.
Tapi suara dengar
Suara dengar, doktor, tapi muka doktor saya tak nampak.
Okay. What's wrong? Okay, boleh? Oh, maafkan saya. Ada technical sikit. Okay. So, yang pertama tadi saya teruskan baliklah. Jadi saya nak memperkenalkanlah Prof. Madya Dr. Noraini Yusof ni daripada Jabatan Data Science, merupakan mantan pengarah daripada Jabatan Data Science Universiti Malaysia Kelantan. Beliau sebelum ini pernah mencurahkan bakti keringat di utara, iaitu di Universiti Utara Malaysia lah, UUM. Ketika ini adalah Fellow Institute for Artificial Intelligence and Big Data UMK, iaitu kita gelarkan sebagaimana yang saya ulaskan tadi adalah berkaitan dengan IBIG, bergerak aktif dalam bidang neuro network. Dalam bidang PhD beliau juga menghabiskan pengajian di dalam bidang neuro network, cognitive modeling and simulation, intelligent system dan big data. Itu adalah bidang kepakaran beliau. Mempunyai rangkaian kolaborasi yang tidak boleh kita nafikan daripada dalam dan luar negara, juga telah menerbitkan banyak penulisan berimpak. Pernah menjadi speaker jemputan untuk Girl in ICT. Mungkin sekarang dah ke arah woman lah kot, Prof.
Yeah.
Okey, telah menjelia puluhan, saya nak lagi tadi boleh saya katakan sebagai saya recapkan di sini adalah telah menyelia puluhan pelajar pasca siswazah. Begitu, Prof. Itu antara yang saya check jugalah. Saya check dengan JBT itu adalah data Prof lah. Okey,
Oh, yeah.
kita beralih kepada panel yang kedua, Dr. Fakitah binti Ridwan, berasal daripada Negeri Jelapang Padi, Sungai Petani Kedah. Informasi, komputer dan teknologi komunikasi ICT yang berpaksikan data science merupakan bidang kepakaran beliau. Informasi, komputer dan teknologi ICT berpaksikan data science merupakan bidang kepakaran beliau. Menghabiskan PhD dalam pengurusan sistem informatif berkait dengan big data. Tidak begitu, Dr. Fakitah?
Betul.
Beliau pernah dianugerahkan first runner-up dalam AI Impact Shaper 2022 Intel Building Digital Readiness Program. Readiness Program. Memulakan langkah awal sebagai pensyarah di IT International College Pulau Pinang dan kemudian bertukar angin ke Universiti Malaysia Kelantan sekitar Disember 2022. Kurang lebih ada 3 bulan ataupun 4 bulan dekat sini.
Betul, baru je.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, kini berada di Fakulti Sains Data dan Komputer FSDK. Untuk makluman, FSDK juga baru ditubuhkan dalam proses pembangunan yang cukup rancak ketika ini. Baiklah. Itu adalah kedua panel kita. Kita tidak mahu membuang masa kerana itu masa itu emas. Apa kata kita terus panaskan webinar kita pada hari ini dengan berbicara tentang apakah chat GBT ni. Okay, mungkin Prof Madia, Dr. Noreni nampak dah
Okay.
tak sabar tu. Silakan Prof.
Thank you, Dr. Najmi. So allow me to share my screen, yeah.
Proceed Prof.
Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, I didn't share.
Cuma dia tak apa full untuk view.
All right. All right. Assalamualaikum and good morning again. Hello, everyone. So yes, first of all, I want to thank to the organizer, PKPA, IBIC, and MSTK for having this session. Glad that we know we can have this kind of session because, I also look forward to have this session, having this session, and because ChatGPT has become the world obsession now. People have gone crazy with this. Do you know that just after 2 months it was launched? So ChatGPT has reached like 100 million users after 2 months. And this to beat Facebook, that took about around 4 years to have the same threshold of users. And Instagram took like around 2 years. And even Google reached after 1 year to have this to reach the number of 100 users, 100 million of users. Okay, so this is what we're going to cover a bit. Just more formal, informal. You can just ask question and any point you like. Okay. Sorry. Yes. So what is ChatGPT is all about? So the gist of thing that we all should know. Okay. And also, I think it's also worth to know the technology behind ChatGPT so that one can really have some idea on the pros and cons of that particular methodology of AI. Okay, and lastly, the take note, the take note from how should we perceive this technology? Are there really great opportunities or just more or less a quagmire? So we should be careful on this technology or whether, how should we perceive this later on? We will see. We will discuss on this. So prior to that, so before going further on what GPT is all about, so allow me to bring back a bit of history on artificial intelligence. So there was one test, the Turing test coined by Alan Turing back in 1950. Sorry, should I stop somewhere or?
Tak boleh proceed, Prof.
Proceed, Prof.
Ada gangguan sikit.
Okay. All right, there's some glitches here. All right. So this is a bit of history on that has been proposed by Alan Turing. Alan Turing back in 1950. Alan Turing, for your information, is the father of computer science. So Turing has proposed this one intelligent test on how to know human intelligence versus machine intelligence. So the purpose of the test is to really identify whether a machine is really intelligent in compared to human intelligence. So if we look at this Turing setting test here, so we have this one machine that the task of the machine is to fool the human as the human is communicating with whether it's to fool human, whether the human is really communicating to machine or another human. Okay, so it is more or less to test whether that machine is really intelligent so that it can fool that particular human. Okay, and the continuity of this, so they have developed Eliza, one of the first chatbot that ever been developed by MIT back in 1966. So Eliza has the ability to interact with human in some particular topics. Okay, the reason I brought up this one is just to note everyone that it's already there. The dispute between whether can machine can machine beat human intelligence. So can machine think, everyone? So I think that one is still remains a dispute until now. Yeah. Okay, and coming back to ChatGPT, what is ChatGPT? Okay, so it's a chatbot as well. same as the one that have been developed, that one just now. Okay, it's a chatbot. It's an AI application that can converse with human, okay, via text or audio. Okay, I'm not sure if the audio version is for free, because ChatGPT also has the audio version. Okay, and then the strength of ChatGPT lies in its engine, which is the language model, powerful engine known as GPT-3, whereby this GPT-3 has been trained with huge massive data, which is, I would say, the entire population of internet is the meta knowledge of this ChatGPT. So if we can imagine how big is the knowledge that has been trained, that has been embedded into this engine of ChatGPT. Okay, and then it was launched in last year, sometime last year in November, 30th November to be exact, and this by this one company known as OpenAI. Okay, so OpenAI is one of the non-profit AI research company. If you haven't known that, Elon Musk was one of the founder of this company before he left to focus on Tesla. But he still remains as one of the donors of this company, Elon Musk. Okay, and the key features of this ChatGPT is that in its ability to learn and adapt to queries, and it does have this special mechanism, the fine-tuning mechanism, that it can improve over time the response that have been given by the user, that have been given to the users. Okay, and since it can converse with since it can converse with human, okay, from this dialogue format, and it has been trained with massive data, the massive text data from the internet, then it can perform most of the natural language processing tasks, like machine translation, answering questions. Okay, but just bear in mind, ChatGPT never claim that it is 100% accurate. Okay, it also even give some remark there in if you can find somewhere in the software, it says that the knowledge is up to certain years as well. Okay, so those are the things that they never claim of. All right. And I want also to bring everyone's attention to this one AI methodology known as generative AI. Okay, generative AI is one of the AI paradigm in which the algorithms learn patterns or structure from some set of data, and the unique feature that this kind of algorithms can reproduce a new data set or a new image, a new audio. So from that, learn pattern and structure from that data. Okay, so there are many applications of that have been built around generative AI. For example, we have this DALL-E 2. DALL-E 2 is also produced by OpenAI, the same company as what that has produced ChatGPT. So the best features of DALL-E 2 is that it can translate. We just provide some text description, and from the text it can picture out. It can provide some nice drawing from that picture that can really describe the text that is DALL-E 2. Okay, and then, for example, this image of a guy, actually that has been drawn from a text description, and this guy never exists in the world. Okay, and the United States also have this CODIS system. CODIS system is a DNA database. And the best feature is that from this the database, so it can picture out some image of somebody that the authority is looking for. Okay, the CODIS system. Okay, and yes, we also have ChatGPT, one of its kind. Okay, and even Microsoft has also released something similar, being AI, but it's never a breakthrough here. Okay. So why ChatGPT is more popular than the other? Okay, I think from my thoughts that first that it's free. It's free and it's easy to be accessed by anyone. You do not need any college degree, any extra knowledge in order for you to run the application. And then because Google has also come out with something similar, it's also never been a breakthrough, like Bard AI. We have Bard, BARD, Bard AI. It's also something similar that they're intended to do like ChatGPT. Okay. But it's never been a breakthrough. But I think ChatGPT is because it's free and easy to access. You don't need any special knowledge in order to run it or the application, and it's accessible by somewhere in any kind of platform. Okay, so that's why it's very famous for now. Have you all tried ChatGPT here? How many of you have had an experience using ChatGPT? Can I see hands? Okay, so yes, after it's been introduced, so this being an obsession to everyone to the internet world, even students, even the academics have also been using it as for some purposes. Okay. And looking deeper into the technology inside into the engine, okay, of the ChatGPT. So the strength lies in its API, application programming interface, called or is kind of a language model called GPT-3. Okay, so GPT-3 is the hardcore engine of ChatGPT. Okay, so ChatGPT has been is one of the, I would say, one of the largest language model that ever been built. Okay, so what does this language model do? Okay, so the function of language model is this language model is to predict the next words to appear. Let's say the system or application is given a set of inputs, then the task of the application is to predict what the word should appear next. Okay, that is the basic functions of that language model. Okay, but ChatGPT has been trained with vast number of text data, which is, as what I mentioned, the entire population of internet is the meta knowledge of this ChatGPT. Yeah. Okay, all right. Okay, so so this language model has been, so there are two phases of this. So the first phase is this language model ChatGPT has been trained, pre-trained with the with the world data set, the entire population data, and that I think the number is around 300 billion tokens of text that have been trained, okay, into this language model. So we can imagine how large is the knowledge, the corpus, okay, and how powerful is the representations of this model. Okay, and from this trained data, so able to produce, able to only have 175 billion parameters. Okay, so this has made GPT-3 has the as one of the largest language model that ever been built in the world so far. That has superseded some of its previous for that. Okay. So as I mentioned here, the purpose of language model is to predict, for example, a robot must what? So it's to predict the next word. Okay. So the core engine, the core algorithm is deep learning. Okay, using this special architecture, transformer neural network architecture. If you like to dig further into this, okay. But today I'm not going to touch to have this too technical. But it's just to know that there's some language model, powerful language model lies in that ChatGPT known as GPT-3. Okay, that has been trained with massive amount of internet data. Okay. And it has a very powerful parameters, 175 billion parameters, and it can perform almost of the natural language processing tasks, like human machine translation, answering question, and everything. Okay, and the core engine is deep learning, is the architecture of transformer neural network architecture. Okay. So I think that's a bit more on the introduction. Okay, hopefully I'm not being too technical. Okay, so then perhaps I would like to pass to Dr. Fakita if you have some demonstration on the usage of the ChatGPT. Dr. Fakita, over to you.
Thank you, Prof. Maybe Dr. Fakita, you can continue, which is what transfer learning in ChatGPT.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Najmi and Prof. Nuraini for the explanation about the ChatGPT. Okay, so basically what I'm going to cover for my part is basically on the technical part about the ChatGPT itself. Maybe I can just start sharing my screen first. Okay. Okay, so just now Prof. Noorani mentioned that ChatGPT is actually we call as a generative AI, and then she did mention about deep learning just now. And actually, we do have, okay, if you can see my screen now, okay, you can see here the limitations. So actually, all the knowledge that being gathered by ChatGPT is up to 2021. Okay, so there's a lot of knowledge is being gathered there. So maybe we can do few examples to see why we need a separate chat, okay, if we are looking for different topic, okay. It's not showing. Okay, so maybe I can start my question. You can just post any questions. So what's your perspective about data science in business? Okay, don't worry about your grammar or at all, because it's similar to talking to human, but it's a robot one. Okay, so maybe I can just ask ChatGPT, what's your perspective about data science and business? Okay, so when I post these questions, if you can see that it's clearly stated there that as an AI language model. So just now, Prof. Noorani mentioned API, part of the language model. So it's ChatGPT is an AI language model. So since we pose a very general questions, I just ask, what's your perspective about data science and business? So maybe ChatGPT capture these two keywords we call as data science and business. So down here, you can see the result from ChatGPT. It relates data science in terms of benefit of data science in business, how it can help the business, how data science can help the business. Okay, and then maybe I want to ask more questions, maybe summarize the benefit in 100 words. Okay, so if we have prompt the ChatGPT to like provide us a long answer, so we can just post the very short one, because it already stores some information at the back, maybe at, above here. Okay, so we asked ChatGPT to summarize the benefit in 100 words, so it's able to summarize based on the input that's given up here. And then if I gonna prompt another questions, provide some comments about healthcare. I didn't mention about data science at all. I just asked some comments about healthcare. And if you can see, okay, give it some time. If you can see that later on, it will try to put some input about data science. Okay, and if you can see here, it didn't specifically mention about data science, but it stated here AI and machine learning. We didn't ask anything related to data science, machine learning, or AI in the question before this. But since this one take what we call as transfer learning, it do have some knowledge that we have started in the first chat with ChatGPT. So it assumed that we want to talk about healthcare together with data science and business. Okay, so if I'm gonna start a new chat, okay, a new chat, still same questions to the ChatGPT. So you can see there's a difference in terms of the response, even though that the questions given to the ChatGPT is totally the same. Because in the first one, in the first chat, I did ask ChatGPT about data science and business first. And then after that, I talked about healthcare. But second one, I just asked about healthcare. So that's why in the answer given by ChatGPT is not related to data science at all. So that's how actually what we call as a transfer learning in the ChatGPT, the structure behind the ChatGPT itself. Okay, I think that's cover, I think, because I won't demo all in terms of the function now, because basically I just want the audience to understand what is the structure, how actually we can utilize the deep learning model behind it in order for us to solve whatever challenge that we are facing. Okay, over to you, Dr. Najmi.
All right, thank you, Dr. Fakita. And then we go to the next. How ChatGPT process the query on how the system capture the question and the process. Please, Dr. Nuraini.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Najmi again. Yes, how does ChatGPT process our query given prompted by a user? Okay, first you need to understand what is the query all about. Okay, this is required to identify what are the key phrases, what are the concepts, what are the keywords that are there in the query. This is just to have some description, some summarization of the query. Okay, and then secondly is to identify the goal. So what is the target to the query? I mean, is the query is asking something, or is the query requires some text summarization, or what is the goal of the query? Again, to identify the goal is to determine the task. So whether the task is to do like text classification, this is more like the natural language processing task. Okay, what is the task? Again, secondly is to, and then lastly is to define. After we have identified all the text and the task, and then it's how to define the task. Okay. Defining the task is requires us to requires the application to put input and output format, how to best respond to the task. But this one that doesn't stop here, but the best feature is on the fine-tuning procedure. Okay, how to fine-tune what, because as what I mentioned earlier, so ChatGPT has been trained with the world internet data. Okay, that is regarded as a pre-trained model. Okay, the pre-trained model. Then this need to have some fine-tuning procedure where later, by learning the description from this query, so ChatGPT will have like a small sets of learning to provide a small model that is more specific to what the query is all about. So the adaptation between this pre-trained model and to this new query is what we call the fine-tuning procedure. Okay. So how to do the fine-tuning procedure? First, okay, for example, first it has the data. So this is something to do like something on business. Okay, so it tries to collect data that is representative to the business, okay, from any existing data sets. But this data may not be the whole internet.
Sorry,
but this small scale of training might require only small scales of data. Okay, it doesn't need to retrain for the whole population internet again, because it's already been pre-trained earlier. Okay, and then to pre-process whatever it has information from the query and to adapt with the to the request of the query. Okay, this is what we call the transfer learning. Okay, so the model has been pre-trained with the whole world data, the entire population data, and then this last scale of model is going to be tailored with the new specific case of, it depends on the one that is more related to the query. This is what we call transfer learning. Okay, and this is, I think, one of the key features that have been introduced in ChatGPT that makes it different from other language model. Okay, and talking about what is actually new, okay, in ChatGPT 3, okay, and in ChatGPT, GPT-3 is the engine, ChatGPT is the application. Okay, that is how we link this up. Okay, as what I mentioned in ChatGPT, it has this this huge. It has been trained with huge data set, which is the entire internet population. Okay, and that's to produce them with 175 billion machine learning parameters. Okay, this is the largest language model in the world. Okay, compared to it in the language models that have been built before. We have Turing LLM model, language model that have been built around 17 billions, and then BERT model that is only being popular now, but it's just been tested with 345 million data. So this is so GPT-3 is the core engine, is the core language model that have that has this. That I would say it's nothing much novel as compared to the methodology involved in AI, but it's just that I would say ChatGPT is just another language model, but it's bigger. This has been trained with a really huge text data. Okay, and secondly, the best features in ChatGPT that have been embedded into ChatGPT is fine-tuning mechanism. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, it has some ability to adapt because it has the pre-trained data, the pre-trained model, and this model is to be adapted with the small scale model that is going to be learned, that is going to be tailored to what the query is all about. If it's business, then we try to reach databases and to train the model in a small scale. Okay, by having this kind of learning, the transfer learning, so it can save a lot of time and resources, not to retrain everything again. Okay, that is, I think, these are only two breakthrough in ChatGPT. Okay, but other than that, it's to say whether this is to have to have a really evolved AI methodology new. No, it's nothing really big novel. But what I can say, ChatGPT is the most powerful language model that ever been built on Earth. Okay. And secondly, it lies in its fine-tuning mechanism, able to adapt, the queries, able to improve the query from time to time, as what Dr. Pakita has demonstrated earlier. So the answer may be improved from time to time. So it learns to adapt, okay, to adapt based on the understanding from that query. So that is for me as an AI specialist. I would appreciate this post, compared to whether, if you were to ask me whether this is a new AI invention, I would say it's just use the same methodology as what people have already been saying. For example, the deep learning of that architecture has already there since 2017. So what is new is this too. Okay, so it's a language model. It's been trained by with a large scale of data. That's it. Okay. Okay, Dr. Fakita, you want to add something?
Maybe Dr. Fakita can add a little bit about ChatGPT on the perspective, research and teaching and learning.
Okay, sure. Maybe instead of sharing, just we are talking, maybe I think if we can do hands-on together. So just now Dr. Najmi mentioned that I'm going to explain, I'm going to share, not explain, more like sharing two different perspectives, which is the first one is on the research and another one is on the teaching and learning. So allow me to share my screen first. Okay. So maybe I can just start here because just now I already give some question here. Okay, so I do have some topics. Okay, so this is sorry. So I have one topic. Okay, so I have this one topic. So image classification for brain tumor detection using machine learning. Okay, bear in mind for this one is a demonstration for research. Okay, but since we are as an academician, so you cannot solely rely on the ChatGPT. So we need to be smart. Okay, but later on I'll share how to be smart using these AI tools. Okay, so maybe I want this ChatGPT to assist me on giving me some maybe 150 words for abstract, because for paper we need to prepare an abstract 150 to 250 words. So maybe provide 150 to 200 words of abstract. Okay, abstract based on the topic. Okay, so in order for us to guide the AI properly, so it's best if you can use some symbol. For example, here I'm using a square bracket for topic, or you can just like based on the topic stated above also can, as long as we can guide the AI to actually stated that, okay, this is the topic that I want. Okay, so AI is not kind of really smart, but we have to guide them first, okay, based on the topic. So based on this topic, it's able to give 150 to 200 words, okay. But if you can see here for abstract, usually we just need one paragraph, but here it gives approximately 3 paragraphs, okay. So let's see in terms of word, how many words is there? Okay, so while I'm sharing, maybe you guys want to try on your own. So if you get different feedback, maybe we can share together. Okay, so when I paste the what we call the answer given by ChatGPT, it turns out to be 204 words, but then I only require 150 to 200 words. Okay, but if you are not satisfied with the abstract given, or if the answer given by the ChatGPT, you can click on regenerate the response. But usually the response will be too much difference from the first answer generated by it. Maybe some part just now we didn't see any MRI or CT or CAD, okay, but now in the second time, okay, after second time we ask the ChatGPT to regenerate the response, the answer is a bit different. Okay. Okay, so this is the abstract. Maybe suggest three suitable objective based on the topic above. Okay. Okay, so it's able to give us a suitable objective. Okay, and then maybe write 2 paragraph of literature along with the reference for the topic. Okay. So it gives us a reference, okay, Karim 2018. Okay. And then after that, it gives us a reference, okay. Okay. So these are the literature, okay, along with the citation and also the reference. So maybe we can check, okay, we cannot like simply copy and paste into our document. Okay, maybe we want to check whether this paper is really available or not. Okay, maybe search for Google. Sorry. Brain tumor detection and classification. Okay, maybe I need to open to a new what we call new tab. Okay, I try to find, but it cannot find the similar article. Okay, maybe I try to find in Google Scholar. Okay, Google Scholar. I try to copy the title and also this one. Okay, seems like it not able to get, okay, to give us the correct article based on the citation or the reference given here. Okay, so when I'm using ChatGPT, so this is my personal experience lah, I find that sometimes the reference given by the ChatGPT may not be exist in the Google Scholar, or may not exist in the website. Okay, but I'm not sure whether did any of you experience ataupun have some experience in using ChatGPT to get the reference, and then if you Google the reference, you are able to get it. Did anyone get that kind of experience? Ada tak similar experience like mine? Maybe we try to find another topic. Comparison, okay. Classification, okay. So seems like that this journal is not accessible. Okay, maybe I can ask, okay, provide the link, okay, to access the article by Karim 2018. Okay, so it stated only one message at a time. Please allow another response. Okay, so this is the limitation. So I cannot. So if I'm facing this kind of issue, I need to maybe I need to retype again my questions. Okay, maybe it cannot process it. Maybe I need to give it the whole information. And then if you are get this kind of error, you can edit your questions. Then maybe you can save and submit. So it says that you can search on Google Scholar, PubMed, and IEEE Explore. But just now I searched this article in the Google Scholar, but it's not appearing. Okay, so even though it's able to direct us to get the literature, but it do have some limitation in terms of the authenticity of the reference given by the ChatGPT itself. Okay, so it can help us, okay, but not 100%. Okay, I would say it's not 100%. Okay, so that's the first part, which is it can help us in terms of maybe giving us some idea or giving us some reference for us to start with. But for me, so far, I didn't encounter any valid reference for me unless it's a website. Okay, if a website, I don't think it have any issue because it's a website, I can simply click on it. Okay, give some reference on website about
banyak lagi yang Mami rasa.
image. Okay. Okay, so something like this, okay, I can simply click on it. And if a website, it will be easier. But if a journal, academic one, I cannot find, as for me, I didn't find a correct one till now lah. Okay, till now I didn't find any macam ChatGPT not able to give me the correct academic journal for me. But if a website, it able to give me. Okay. Okay. Let me move to the second part for the research. How it able to help us to expand the sentence. Okay. So expand the following sentence. Okay. Sorry, not this one. Cancel. Stop generating. So sorry, I want to copy another one. Okay, I want it to expand this sentence. Okay, brain tumor are caused by me. Okay, so we can ask the ChatGPT to expand the sentence for us. Okay. So since we didn't specify how long you want it to expand, so it didn't work as we if we have specified here, okay, expand the following sentence in 100 words, then it can in 100 words. Then instead of giving us 3 paragraphs, it will expand to 100 words only. Okay. So the question that we give to, or the instruction we give to ChatGPT should be accurate and precise as possible. Okay. And then if we think that this sentence, the sentence or the paragraph given here is not enough, or it's too long, maybe we can summarize the sentence above in 20 words. Example. Okay. So it able to summarize the sentence here, okay, instead of 100 words, it able to summarize less than 20 words, okay. We also can ask the ChatGPT to actually summarize, paraphrase, okay. Just now I show you how to expand, how it can summarize for us. It also can help to paraphrase the following sentence, okay. So instead of using other AI tools, like Quillbot or any other tools that help us in terms of paraphrasing, summarizing, we can use it in ChatGPT. Okay, so it trying to first this sentence. Okay, but similar to any other AI tools, okay, we need to make sure that whatever sentence or whatever things that we want it to paraphrase, the output here should be reflected, okay, to what we want. Okay, so it's not as simple as, okay, we ask the AI to paraphrase for us and then we just it gives us the answer, we copy and paste it in our manuscript. No, we should have this kind of ethic. Okay, before we can simply copy and paste, we need to evaluate whether the output given by the AI is accurate or not, whether the output given by the AI is correct or not. So that's our ethical consideration. We need to make sure that ourselves follow that kind of guideline. Okay, so that's basically covered about the how we can use a ChatGPT for research. Okay, a little bit. I won't go in detail.
Dr. Pakita,
Yes, doctor.
can ChatGPT analyze the real research in the particular field?
Okay, so basically I did try from the ChatGPT to actually do some research for me, but okay, maybe I hold on, I copy some sentences. Okay. Okay. Sorry, Dr. Najmi, just now, what's the question? I forgot. How ChatGPT, what ChatGPT just now, Dr. Najmi?
Can analyze the particular research field.
Okay, in terms of analyze, okay, I'm not sure whether this one is answer the question or not, tapi from my understanding, okay, maybe we can do something like this. Okay, maybe we can do something like this. Okay, I asked the ChatGPT to give the link to access this article. Okay, example. Okay. Oh, okay, it stated cannot give me the link. Maybe I can ask it to summarize the article for me. Okay. 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 So let's see this DOI showing which article. So this article is about, if I'm not mistaken, it's about my paper, because I want to see whether ChatGPT able to summarize my article or not, because I write the article on my own, so I should know whether the summarize provided by the ChatGPT is correct or not. So if you are in the master of your field, so you can check whether the summary given by the ChatGPT is correct or not. So it's stated here, okay, I give the ChatGPT the DOI, but somehow it summarized the article, the title of the article is not same as the DOI. Just now I copied this DOI and then I paste it, it turns out to be my article. But somehow when ChatGPT read this DOI, it give us this title, okay? So when I search this title, okay, it's not appearing in any of the what we call any of the search here. So might be the article is not valid, or maybe I don't have access to the article. Okay, and another one, maybe I can show you like this one. Okay. Okay, so maybe I want like write 5 relevant reference based on the what we call research about brain tumor and machine learning. Research about brain tumor and machine learning. Okay. So it's able to give us the relevant reference. Okay. But example now, I'm just asking it to give us 5 reference. Okay. There's one day I try to ask the ChatGPT to give me 20 reference, okay, but somehow it hang in the middle. Okay. Maybe I change it to 20. Okay. So is it answering that to the question?
Alright, almost.
Almost.
Okay.
Okay, because it's
So
basically depend on us lah, how we want to ask the ChatGPT depending on macam if you want it to like summarize, because it's an AI model and then dia like a baby, we have to feed something. We cannot simply ask ChatGPT to give us what we need. We need to feed the model, what we want, maybe our expertise. So my expertise is on brain tumor and machine learning, and specifically using MRI, something like that. We need to give like some introduction in the first few parts of the questions before we can ask and macam kita kata push ChatGPT beyond the limit. Macam tu. So this basically for the research lah. Can I move to teaching and learning, or other another questions regarding ChatGPT for research? Can I, Doctor? So I want to move.
Proceed first.
Okay. So assuming that we can ask the ChatGPT to actually prepare us. For example, I asked ChatGPT to construct an open-ended question. Okay, for example, I want the question to only takes 10 minutes of the student's time to answer the questions. So this is the topic. So this is the guideline for the ChatGPT to prepare the questions. So this is the possible questions that should be we can ask the students. That students only take 10 minutes, to answer these questions. So it's not only able to give us the questions, we also can ask the ChatGPT to provide us with the marking scheme as well. So it can, since we didn't mention how many marks, so it assume 100%. Okay. If we want like provide a sample marking scheme for 7 marks, so maybe it will give us based on that 7 marks. Since we didn't specify the percentage, so it's assumed 50%. So they cakap for introduction 10%, comparison of approach 50%, conclusion 10%, and also advantages and disadvantages is 30%. So this is some of the sample marking scheme. And maybe we also can ask the ChatGPT to provide us with the sample answer. The sample answer. So based on the question here, based on this question up here, so this is the possible sample answer according to the marking scheme that have been defined here. If you are not satisfied with the marking scheme, and then we regenerate this response, the response here for the sample answer will be different as well.
So this, I think, one good points that we can, in the way that we can adapt this to our PMP. Yeah, I think
yes,
a good start. A good start.
Yes. For me,
but
as a
always
new
to have check and
yeah.
balance, double check.
Yes, kena double check. It's a must lah. And then if this one is too long, because when we provide a sample answer, we rarely provide it in an essay. We usually put it in a bullet form, so we can ask the ChatGPT to change the answer up here as a bullet form. So it'll be easier. So it's depend on your preference, which kind of answer you prefer, either the essay one or the point form one, or later I will share with I will share a bit how we can ask the ChatGPT to give us a table. Maybe I can start with this. Create the table of comparison between comparison between hierarchical clustering and partition-based clustering. So just now, okay, if you can see, it's not actually appearing a table. Dia ada macam just now, like a symbol. Okay, before it can show us a table like this, it actually the code behind the table. Macam mana nak cakap, Prof Aini, maybe you can add in terms of the view, I mean in terms of the answer given by the ChatGPT here.
You mean the format of the table, or
Because just
the
now you can
content?
see macam ada dash, and then in terms of the content as well as the structure at the back.
Yes, it's just the drawing, because now the browser is using HTML text, right? HTML text. It's just the way we put out the drawing. Of course, you need to draw lines. So akhir tu baru boleh tengok the real table. Yeah.
Can ChatGPT provide infographic?
Wow, in terms of infographic, maybe we can try provide infographic to explain the clustering methods. Okay, I didn't try before, maybe not able to create infographic. Okay, but it able to assist us in order for us, if we want to create an infographic, what is the suitable maybe information that we can add.
Yes.
Okay.
Because to do drawing, I think DALI 2 is best. What is best at, because this one is only deal with text or audio. Okay, it's the main because it has been trained with huge text data only. So the meta knowledge is especially on text.
Yes. Okay. So just now we asked we asked the ChatGPT to prepare us an open-ended question, macam AC. So maybe if we also can ask the ChatGPT to prepare us MCQ questions. Okay. So it able to give us, okay. So actually it eats me a lot, okay. For the first time lecturer like me, it eats me a lot, because I can see like some of the structure, or what we know the correct answer, but we don't know what is the not correct answer one. So this one can give me the idea.
Questions.
And then because I asked the ChatGPT to give me the feedback as well, so it able to give a feedback why Euclidean distance is the most commonly used similarity measure in the cluster analysis, together with the feedback here. We also can ask the if we don't know what kind of calculation questions, okay, this one may be favor to those who are doing mathematics, okay. So we can ask the ChatGPT, okay, to give us MCQ questions that require calculations. Even for coding as well, you can use ChatGPT as well. Okay.
All right. We also have a question and some discussion on the chatbot. For example, in order to check the similarity, from Faiz Shahimin, we need AI that can detect others' AI work. And also they have a suggestion from Dr. Nizamuddin about the ChatGPT-0 Chatbot. How about the similarity, but they didn't get the some kind of filter, which is ChatGPT and which is the human touch. Which that what the limitation of ChatGPT?
Okay.
Prof Nurani, please.
Yeah, so perhaps I do have that notes in my conclusion, but I want to add a bit on the ChatGPT 0. This one of the another new invention to counterpart the ChatGPT, which is very interesting. This kind of human. So ChatGPT 0 is one of the also application that is meant to counterpart whether this particular statements or sentences or phrases are given by a human or machine or AI to be exact. Okay. So the engine behind ChatGPT 0 it based on the the complexity of the sentences. But of course, it's still under study. Even the developer also claim that it still hasn't reached up to certain performance that it's supposed to. Okay, so based on, I think there are two basics to evaluate the complexities, the perplexity or burstiness. Yeah, maybe those in the language is more familiar with this. Okay, so whenever the sentences are complex enough, so they won't perhaps to be predicted, that to be made by human, because we are human in nature. We do not really have these straightforward sentences to converse, right? So that is the basic principle of ChatGPT 0. Okay, using the complexity of sentences. So this is to use this philosophical in order to contemplate whether these particular sentences of Paras have been produced by human or AI. Okay, but still under study. So I know no detailed report that haven't been published by this ChatGPT 0 around this.
Is it like turn it on, turn it in?
Yes, it's kind of turning in. Yeah, but it's not really up to that standard yet. But it's just solely based on perhaps he tries to analyze around 10 first sentences. So if the sentences is complex enough to be said that this have been produced by human, then that's it, that it is concluded. Okay, of course, it is still at the infant stage. All right, so if I may to just to summarize what Dr. Fakitas has demonstrated before. I need to share. Yeah, perhaps also best to note the limitations of this methodology behind this ChatGPT, because I think it would be more appropriate to appreciate the pro and cons of such technology, so that we can, but still always to double check whatever response and outcome, based on it solely, and have our report and have it to be incorporated directly from our report. Okay, especially students' assignment. Okay, and what we should know on the limitation and risk. Okay, first is what I mentioned earlier briefly on the technology. So ChatGPT has a pre-trained model. Okay, and he has been trained with huge, massive internet data, text data, and it just stopped there. Okay, because the data is huge, so it cannot afford to relearn again. So ChatGPT 3 is not constantly learning. So it has some limitation up to certain even only. And even this ChatGPT, the developer also made a claim that the knowledge is up to 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so just to bear in mind with that thing. So there are some limitation in terms of its knowledge. Okay, so in order to expand the knowledge, so it's not incremental. So in order to expand the knowledge, so it need really you need to undergo a very huge process of training again, as what it has been done on GPT-3. And limited input size. If you realize there are some certain input size limitation, which is up to 2048 tokens or words only that it can accept. Even it allows to some extent, but it have some ways of truncate the sentences to some level of acceptance. Okay. And yes, it's low influence. Sometimes you got hang. Okay, sometimes because a lot of computational techniques are in there in the ChatGPT, because it's able to predict, because the language model means to predict the next word. Okay, given set of words and what is the next word to come. Okay, so the process might be slow. Okay, and it also lack of explainability. Okay, so this one is to say suppose like other machine learning methods. Okay, because it's not really, it is opaque and it's kind of a black box process. There is no way we can know what is happening inside, and there is no way that it have some sense of telling or inferring why it has reached certain conclusion or answer. It can give you answer, but if you to ask why did you say so, then there's no way it can explain. So this
Maybe
is
this
what
is also in line with our participant inside the chatbot. Farahin Johari said that one
Yeah.
thing ChatGPT is lacking at the moment is in deep. It can give a long answer, but
Yeah.
not necessary in deep.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so because if you ever ask this chatbot or robot, it always come to the claim that my knowledge is whatever I have been trained with. Okay, so you cannot ask beyond that, or I can only do the noise with the machine around what I have been trained. That is always the ultimate claim from this ChatGPT. Okay, so but it happened to same as what other machine learning methods suffer. Okay, it's not really transparent. It's really opaque. The process is opaque. There is no way that we can that the application can explain as what we human give some reasoning to what's the decision that we have obtained in the past. Okay, so there's no way that this robot can really provide you such inference. Okay. And yes, risk also need to know the risk is mimicry, yes, plagiarism. So don't just simply take up this and put into nice format and send it to the lecturers as assignment. That is what we are worried for. We are very off, okay. And then the accuracy, yes, even ChatGPT never claim that it is 100% correct. So always need to double check as what have been demonstrated by Dr. Pakita. It's now so there are quite some discrepancies in how the ChatGPT derive our response. Okay, but the good things in ChatGPT is that it able to adapt. Okay, able to adapt and learn and relearn in order to provide more better accuracy of response. Okay, and yes, it is bias. Language models are prone to machine learning bias. Okay, so if you know that even the one that has been trained is the whole internet part, is the whole internet text data. Okay, the Wikipedia is there, and then also there is until now there is no one that has the authority to validate the knowledge inside the internet. Okay, so there is no way that we can say the one that we have had, that one that I have got in hand provided by the ChatGPT is 100% perfect. There's just always some elements of bias, like also other machine learning method as well. Okay. But knowing the benefits, the limitation, and the risks is what I think help the users of ChatGPT to make more informed the decision of how best and how to use this ChatGPT, and to really know how to optimize the query or to help, but just for a start. But so use AI as a tool or assistant, but do not have the information whatever provided 100% and take it and leave it. That's it, like that. Okay, so yes, I think that's what I can conclude from here. The ChatGPT is one magnificent creation, I say, but in terms of AI development, it's really as an AI specialist, I would say it's nothing much new. Just that it has been grown bigger with a language model that has been trained with bigger internet knowledge, internet scale. Okay, and there's always some limitation and risk. So use wisely, and appropriately. Okay.
Okay,
But
Prof, we also have a question on the chat. How ChatGPT started? Who write the paragraph in ChatGPT? From Cik Abdullah bin Muhammad.
Sorry, what's the question again? Yeah, I'm trying to respond the chatbot.
How ChatGPT started? Who write the paragraph in ChatGPT?
The paragraph. What do you mean? The paragraph, is it the developer?
I think the answer, Doctor. I mean, if you ask the ChatGPT the question, and then the answer is actually given by who? The long paragraph one.
Oh, okay. That one is come from that language model. So after ChatGPT has identified what are the text, what the query is all about, so it will then it goes back to my one that I've shown just now how to process the query. Okay, so we identify whether this to involve a text generation or text summarization. So that is where the role of the generative AI, that one I've briefly mentioned just now, generative AI. So it learns patterns and structure from a data set, but it can regenerate back a new whole set of text or maybe image or even a software program. You can reinvent. That is, of course, there are many things that I wish to explain in the process of the generative AI algorithms. Okay.
All right. We also have some an opinion from Khairul Hisham
Yeah, sure.
about pretend you are a language researcher or pretend you are the Python code.
Okay. Actually, I think for those young follow, previously we have so many sessions with Prof. Karim and other lecturers from other university who are sharing on how actually you can optimize ChatGPT for teaching and learning, especially. So the first question they can from the ChatGPT is pretend that you are expert in this field. So actually, when you don't have to actually stating that pretend you are like this, and that, because actually ChatGPT didn't get extract all the text. Mungkin they ambil like language researcher, Python coder. So from that, it understand that you want to narrow down your scope in language researcher or in Python coder. If you didn't specify your scope or your expertise, it will try to gather as much as possible. Just now I just mentioned healthcare. So it explain about challenge, advantage, and so on. Tapi yes, but just now for the business, data science as business, the first example I show you guys just now, you explain the business from the perspective of data science. And then if I prompt about healthcare in the same window, it try to relate healthcare with data science. So that's how you actually able to manipulate. That's what we call as a transfer learning. So the first model can we call as a model code, Dr. Aini. I'm not sure what is the suitable keyword that we can use, but the first prompt that we give to the ChatGPT is actually the model is being loaded behind before you can further use the ChatGPT itself.
Okay. So if any question from the participant, we allow you to open the mic and ask question, or can we chat as well.
Well, bear in mind, I think this technology is still at the infant stage. I think there are lots of research that needs to be looked into. So yes.
Yes, and I think before ChatGPT, I think during my PhD, I'm not before ChatGPT is being invented, we do have a similar kind of software, what we call as UMaker. I'm not sure whether some of you are familiar with UMaker or not. UMaker also using AI to generate a short paragraph, long paragraph for us, depending on what we need. And then we also have a Elicit.ai, which able to find a suitable research paper based on the research question that we post. So actually, a lot of AI tools for research, for teaching and learning is being invented before, but I'm not sure why ChatGPT is being talk of the town.
Yes.
Okay, Prof. Can we recap and conclude this discussion and sharing for this morning? I would like to invite both of you in order to recap and give a take-home note for everyone that we can share. So maybe we can have a further discussion after this. Please, Prof.
Yes, thank you. As what I mentioned, I think yes, use the technology sparingly. Okay, know the pro and cons, and also know a bit more what is the methodology inside, so that we can know what is actually that something that we need to be aware of. That whether this is going to have really great opportunities again, or just a quagmire, be more helpful events than what we anticipate. Okay. So use ChatGPT. I mean, I would ask everyone. I would advise everyone to use as a tool, as a tool or assistant, just to kickstart off your work. But it's not to rely on it 100%. Okay, have to. But it's good that we have got this one of these session that we can have this knowledge sharing on what is the technology inside, what are the things that we should be aware of. Okay. So I think, yeah. So use sparingly this technology, or it's not just ChatGPT, it's whatever technology, okay? And to know what is the border of it, what it really, what certain limits that it could impossible to reach, okay? So by having that, yes, we can be thankful and also be aware of the potential threats. Okay, but hopefully, this to create more, to be more phenomenal in the future, but to have more great sense of using this. Okay, it's not just to have like a tool that you can just play around and that's it. Okay.
Okay, thank
Especially
you,
to our student, memang cepat student sekarang. Okay,
Yeah.
I have been receiving a lot of questions about this, students how to optimize all this chat to the query in order to get certain things. So no, I can sense something not so good from there. So I think so just be careful, okay, as an educator, so always know how to check and balance because the mimicry or the plagiarism and everything, okay, so that it won't defeat the purpose of the education itself. Okay, right.
Okay, thank you, Prof. How about Dr. Fakita, please?
Okay, maybe Dr. Aini, because a senior lecturer, and so the way she thinks is maybe from the student's perspective, but maksudnya from the lecturer perspective. But for me, I think from the student perspective, for me, I think using ChatGPT is actually helpful because we can get a quick knowledge, quick and new knowledge. For example, I'm kind of like new in. Before this, I didn't know the structure behind ChatGPT, even though my field is data science, but I didn't really know about what we call a zero-shot learning, one-shot learning related to the machine learning. So there's a lot that we can learn. So instead of doing my own research, it will take time. But if I ask ChatGPT to give me a quick and new inputs, it's able to give me, even though a long paragraph, but it will be shorter compared to I have to maybe find a website, a reliable one. Maybe I need to go to a journal to actually understand what is one shot learning or few shot learning, anything. So that's from the student perspective, but there's some limitation and some guideline. I keep talking about guideline and ethics. As a lecturer or even as a student or even as a human, we cannot simply copy and paste and claim that is even though it's generated by the AI. Okay, even though it's generated by the AI, but it's not how I can say it's not ethical lah. Okay, unless from the answer given by the ChatGPT you understand and you rewrite it on your own, then that's fine. But if we are asking the ChatGPT to actually to help us in terms of summarization, in terms of paraphrasing, in terms of maybe translate for us, I think that will be fine. Because we have give the ChatGPT some idea. If we ask the ChatGPT to paraphrase, we give a paragraph and then we ask ChatGPT to paraphrase for us. So then I think that's fine. Tapi kalau we ask question and then we simply ambil bulat-bulat, copy and paste directly, and then that's not ethic. Okay, I think that's my take-home message from me, Doctor.
Okay, thank you both panel for today webinar, Prof. Narani and my fellow friend Fakita, Dr. Fakita, in order to fulfill this discussion. We are about to the end of this discussion, as well as we also have a need analysis in order to continue this such kind of webinar or seminar like this from Dr. Muhammad Fairuz Aziz Kamil. We will looking forward on this suggestion, and perhaps we use ChatGPT to carry information for us and we have to rewrite. Thank you, Hisham. And saya mengambil kesempatan ini untuk mengucapkan ribuan terima kasihlah kepada both panel, iaitu Profesor Madya Dr. Nurul Yusof dan Dr. Fakirah Rizwan. And then saya juga mengucapkan penghargaan terima kasih kepada seluruh participant pada hari ini. More than boleh kita katakan the numbers achieve more than 120 peserta lebih 120 peserta pada hari ini. ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada bahagian kecemerlangan akademik. KPT juga ada wakil saya rasa bersama-sama dengan kita iaitu Puan Selvi. Terima kasih banyak Puan Selvi. Magnetik yang diterajui oleh Profesor Dr. Kamal daripada UKM, juga bersama-sama dengan rakan-rakan yang magnetik dan juga Mipta, ya, bersama-sama kita Dr. Nurbiha, Dr. Azidah dan pasukan. Juga kita ada Prof Sun daripada Sabah, yang menyertai OER Malaysia, ya, pastinya dia juga sudi untuk hadir bersama-sama dengan kita. Terima kasih ucapkan kepada Dr. Akmal Aibik kerana kesudian bekerjasama dengan PPKA, Dr. Hashia FSDK. Dan sebelum kita mengakhirilah, kami mohon maaf, ribuan kemaafan ada sebarang khilaf kata-kata dan kesilapan teknikal sepanjang pengendalian webinar Artificial Intelligence pada hari ini. Yang kita langsungkan sekitar 1 jam setengah. Dan sebelum mengakhiri sesi pada hari ini, mari kita melakukan SOP biasa dalam prosedur, program, bengkel, kursus dan sebagainya adalah untuk sama-sama kita mengambil gambar. Mohon para peserta dan seluruh sahabat-sahabat daripada Universiti Malaysia Kelantan, daripada IPTA, daripada IPTS, daripada institut dan juga KPT untuk sama-sama dengan kita untuk mengambil gambar. Mungkin sekretariat, saya bercakap terima kasihlah kepada sekretariat Puan Hajar, pasukan IB juga menyediakan pelbagai inilah, maksudnya persediaan sebelum dan selepas inilah. Okey, mungkin boleh.
Okay, ready semua? Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Ada 5 page ya.
Okay, kejap ya.
Ada Dr. Iqbal saya nampak ni.
1, 2, 3.
Dr. Karimah tu dekat mana tu? Main di Eritrean ke? Osaka ke tu?
Next. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Prof.
Jangan dua lagi. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Dr. Azhar dari UTHM.
Okay, last one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, terima kasih semua.
Okey. Dengan berakhirnya sesi penggambaran, maka berakhirlah webinar kita pada hari ini. InsyaAllah kita jumpa di lain wadah. Assalamualaikum dan selamat tengah hari semua.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Terima kasih semua.